welcome back again. So I had some other thoughts here. Let me see if I can keep you guys. I want to just see something. I'm gonna flip the camera. Flip it! So while I'm working on this Mercedes, so we're just going to take this car for example. So this car's here, like many other cars, they either have a list of repairs. Hold on for a second. A list of repairs. Just a little bit more. Alright. Pull the codes first. So some people are well aware of all the conditions of their vehicle, cosmetic, interior, otherwise. And some people have not a fucking clue what's going on. So I'm just going to use this Mercedes as an example. It's towed in. Both batteries are dead. Needs 4 tires. Brake pads and rotors are basically shot all the way around. 2 rear brake lines are rusted out. And that doesn't include cosmetic issues, interior issues, mystery and ghost issues, and neglected maintenance like fluids and filters, wiper blades and shit like that. So some people may be well aware of all that. Most people are not. They have to be really well in tune with their vehicle and be very experienced. So, hi. Is that it? Are all the monitors set? Are any flashing red lights? On the scan tool, is there any flashing red light?
There's a red light that's not flashing.
Figure out what that code means. And I'm gonna get to the root of this video. So we'll say replacing this new Mercedes is $60,000 or $70,000 for a new E350. Most Americans today, most people in the world, have less than $5,000 in their savings account. So you can't even put down a decent car payment. It's gonna be a long one. You can't even put down a decent amount of money to get your car payment to be affordable. And affordable, in my opinion, for many people is different. $400 a month could be affordable. $400 a month could be astronomical. But we're just going to say, like, the average car payment today is around $800. Look it up yourself. Average car payment today is $800, and not only for the cost of vehicles, but for the people that have made bad decisions with their vehicles. When you trade them in, they're beat so bad to shit that they can't give you any money. And then your decisions prior to all this equate to all that. So average car payment's $800 a month. If you take all the repairs that were neglected on this car over the years, now this is a 2013, by no means is this a POS. It's probably a great vehicle, and the engine doesn't make any noise, which is a bonus. So taking this vehicle 100,000 miles, tons of neglected shit. Someone said, fuck it, I don't want this car anymore because of probably before the brake lines were rotted out, that they were at Mercedes and it needed $3,000 worth of scheduled maintenance services, 4 tires, brakes and rotors all the way around. It was probably a $5,000 or $8,000 bill at Mercedes. They were like, I'm trading this piece of shit in, knowing it's the vehicle owner's fault that the vehicle's in this condition. And then they take this car and it goes to auction and somebody else is going to buy it and so on and so forth. So that somebody else who's going to buy it is probably coming out of a car that was a piece of shit also, meaning it was falling apart to the point where they couldn't afford to fix it. But they could afford to make a monthly payment, and I'm going to get to that. They could afford to make a monthly payment, but they can't afford to fix it while it's in the shop, which makes no sense to me, right? So if you have a car that runs and drives and it needs a few $1,000s worth of work, right? You're going to go buy a car, you need to put a few $1,000s down, or trade in your car and get beat over the head for that. So use your beat up vehicle in need of major repairs or some repairs and get as much money as you can on your trade for it, and then whatever money you have that you could squander up for a down payment to get that payment reduced. And if you have bad credit, you're even screwed because you're talking 30% interest rates. So you willingly knew your car was fucked up and didn't fix it, or unwillingly didn't know, which I don't understand how people don't know, that your car is falling apart at your feet and requires maintenance. But you can't afford to fix it, but you're going to trade it in and go get an $800 a month car note, not including insurance. So what would one round of repairs on a $3,000 worth of work, right? So say it's $3,000 in total repairs to fix your car up. But you're going to go lay out $1,500 or $3,000 on a used car or a new car that you couldn't afford to maintain your old car. Let him in. But you can afford to make a new car payment. Well, guess what? Those cars still require maintenance too. Oh yeah, well it's covered for 3 years and 36,000 miles. You're going to be in the same cycle. So I don't understand when people say, oh, it's not worth fixing. Absolutely it's worth fixing. 100% it's worth fixing. The lesson here is don't let your shit fall apart at your feet. Stay on top of it, and then you won't find yourself in a predicament in the repair shop that it's falling apart at your feet and requires tons of tons of repair and maintenance. Fix it. Find value in yourself. Find value in your financial future, and stop playing slave to the finance companies. And then run the risk of that you couldn't afford to fix your car, but then you can barely afford a new car payment today because they're outrageous. And then that car in 3 years, based on your habits and maintenance practices, is going to be in the same condition your old car was, if not worse. At 100,000 miles, it'll be in the same condition. You guarantee that. So when people say, oh, I can't afford to fix it, I don't have any money to fix it, I'm just going to go get a new car. That is like the most foolish thing I've ever heard. If you have plenty of money and disposable money, I understand. But if you're just an average person, like the average person in the world has less than $5,000 in their savings account, average person in the United States, less. And it's probably worse right now in 2024. I haven't checked it. That's a bad place to be. And having a heavy car note on top of that is even worse. Think about all the money you will save by not having a car payment, having an older vehicle, and just fix it. Consider restoring it. What's wrong with getting new paint and new wheels and tires and new interior? You can, like if your car is that bad, everything can be redone and then modernized and upgraded. You can have backup cameras and this camera and seat warmers and seat massagers. You can have modern engines, updated in certain vehicles. There is no limits to what you can do depending on your money. I mean, even these Mercedes and Jaguars, people put LS engines in them. So because the Mercedes ones to them are expensive for parts and high failure rates. I'm just giving examples, but the old adage, I can't afford to fix it, I'm just going to get a new car. Foolish. You're making all that manufacturers rich. You're making the banks rich. You're putting yourself in a position you don't want to be in. And it's not getting any better. So take care of what you have. Be proud of what you have. I'm driving cars from 2004. I have a 1986 Monte Carlo. If you follow along my videos, I completely redid my Monte Carlo again, and I'm going to correct the paint. I've already started correcting the interior, and I'm going to make that a brand new car. The heat works, the air works. My Toyota Sequoia at 300,000 miles. Runs and rides like it's brand new. Fixed everything on it. It needs a paint job. It ain't that bad. My trucks, high mileage, run, start every day, never leave me stranded. So, and I'm not making huge car payments. So, and I have a leased vehicle. I'm 50 years old. I just said I'm not leasing anymore. I'm done giving away $800 a month, even though it is a business expense and write-off. To me, I'd rather have the $800 a month in my pocket and secure my financial future instead of making, these hedge funds and banks and insurance companies and dealerships and salesmen and underwriters and finance managers rich. It's time to take care of yourself. Thanks for watching.